no escuché.
El grito tuyo para los espectadores.
Here we are again with another episode of Start, Bench, Release. In the last episode we looked at the right back position. I'll leave a link in the description to that last episode. But today we're looking at some English number 10s, some cams, some whatever you want to call them, whatever they're called these days. We're going to be looking at Dele Alli, we're going to be looking at Jack Grealish, and we're going to be looking at James Maddison. A similar theme to the last episode there. All young English players. As I said in the last episode, if England hit the Euros this year, it might have been a problem for the other countries because England have a tasty little team full of young players that are hungry and hopefully aiming to win some silverware for the Three Lions. Youngest to oldest, we're going to start with Mr. James Maddison. As you should know, James Maddison wears number 10 for Leicester City, who, well, before the quarantine situation, sit third in the Premier League, which for their standards is actually pretty good. They're above some top teams right now in Chelsea, United, Tottenham, Arsenal. They're sitting pretty in the Champions League spots right now. And of course the heroic efforts of players like Jamie Vardy, Pereira, and the Turkish centre-back, which I cannot pronounce, so I won't. One of the players that have been part of that driving force is Mr. James Maddison. If we look at what Maddison is really good at, pros, really good from outside the box, nice on the long shots, he takes free kicks, corners, you name it, he's probably taking it. He's a good playmaker, which 3 assists this season kind of underrates. Last year he got 7, and there's no doubt in my mind, because of how often he takes set pieces, that he probably could have hit 7 or even exceeded 7 assists this year. And from stories that talk about his work ethic from his Coventry days, his Norwich days, which led up to his £22 million move to Leicester, it always seems like he's getting better. Last year, 7 goals and 7 assists in the Premier League. He's got 6 goals so far. I think he could have overtaken 7. And as I said, I think it's more than likely that he can break the 7 assists that he got last year this year. He's a nice, tidy player, you know. I like Madders. But going on to the cons, sometimes his lack of athleticism, so not being the strongest or the fastest, it can contribute a lot to him getting bullied off the ball, losing possession. Sometimes it can affect him being a great playmaker as well, because even if he's thinking faster than a lot of players, sometimes him not being fast enough to get moves off, or him not being strong enough to hold players off, it can get in the way of that, and that's not something that you like to see. But obviously over time he can build up core strength, and with more experience and time he'll get more goals, more assists, he'll just think faster, he's gonna get better. So he's 23 now, and he's an amazing starting point, and he's more than likely gonna get a big move to one of the top 6 clubs. If he can improve on what I see as cons, then Madden's gonna be nice. He's gonna be nice. Mr. Dele Alli. It always surprises me that I only find out he's 24 and that Jack Grealish is older than him, but hey, the more you know, eh? You might be surprised to know that I have a love-hate relationship for Dele Alli, because he's actually, when he's on form, he's one of my favourite players to watch. In terms of his pros, especially when he's confident, when he's in form, like I said, like Madders, he's great outside the box. Technique, dribbling is off the charts. He gives you the vibe of a Frank Lampard or Steven Gerrard. A guy that can contribute playmaking-wise, get everybody involved, get the team going, and he can contribute to goals as well. He's versatile, so he can play up front, he can play centre mid, he can play cam. Some people say he can do jobs on the wings. I'm not really a fan of him there, but oh yeah, if he can do it, he can do it. But here's the thing, the major things I have against Mr. Alli is the consistency is just not there. It's not there. It even surprised me that apparently he's got 8 goals in the league this year. That's actually decent, but if you compare it to the 2016-17 season, he bagged 18 goals. He bagged 7 assists. 2015 and 16 season, he bagged 10 goals and 9 assists. 2017-18, he got 10 assists and he got 9 goals as well. So I'm thinking like, oh my guy, like this guy can be so, he can be great. He can be so talented. But sometimes he has these tendencies to go missing for long periods of time as well. For England, he hasn't been great for a while now. In the Champions League, he hasn't impressed me at all. Even last year when they hit the final, I don't remember no Dele Alli in the final. I don't remember no Dele Alli in the Champions League campaign. He didn't even score. Sometimes his maturity and discipline can come into a play. Sometimes he makes rash, silly challenges. Sometimes he makes off-field decisions which cause drama, bring his reputation into disrepute, all of this nonsense. And in terms of Spurs winning and just being a successful team that are always competing at the top level, as one of the best players de facto on the team, like him, Kane, Alderweireld, all them man. All of them man's leadership are in question. I'm not even going to lie to you. Because of the simple fact that on their watch, Pochettino got fired. A really good manager. Noted he's had some injuries and all of this, but he's at a stage in his career where he's been in the league for a minute now. It's going to be, his 6th season next year. You'd expect more, but give or take, he's still young. He can always improve in all of these factors. And who knows, if we see the Dele Alli from 16, we're in trouble. The league's done at it. Tottenham are going to be nice again, and then who knows what they could win if he bucks up his ideas. But it's debatable in itself if that's even going to happen. Finally, Jack Grealish, the oldest player on this list again. I'm just going to stop saying it's a shock at this point because I'm shocked, but it's like, whatever, man. Jack Grealish plays for Aston Villa. They're not a very good team in terms of Premier League standards. If you just look at the Premier League standings, they sit 19th. And I'll be real, they're probably going to get relegated. Now, the bad news is they go down. But the good news is Jack Grealish gets a nice little move, which is what he deserves, to be fair, because he deserves to be playing around really good players that fit his playing ability. Because he really is carrying this Villa team on his back. I saw some stats the other day that he's the most tackled player in the league, one of the most fouled. Like, he's literally having to do almost everything offensively for them. And I don't blame him because he has the capabilities of doing that. If you look at what he's really good at, like I said, playmaker, he has to basically do everything for Villa offensively. Talked about him and his ability to draw fouls. Part of him being an excellent playmaker means his passing is nice. Means his passing is really good. Dribbling and control, like the way he weaves through players sometimes, Grealish. Versatile, which means he can play CM, he can play Cam, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, and he can do really good jobs in all those positions as well. Like I said, there's not actually too much that you can say about Jack Grealish. He's actually a baller. I'd say main cons, well, I say there's not a lot you can say. There's been a lot of videos in this guy's whole life of him being partying in this place, he's passed out on this road, he's breaking quarantine rules, he's doing this, he's doing that. Listen, sometimes he doesn't make the greatest decisions on the pitch and off the pitch. Those off the pitch ones bring a lot of drama, and those on the pitch ones sometimes put his team in jeopardy. But in this defense, like I said, he has to do a lot for that team. All of this just comes with experience, to be honest. As he grows, he's going to stay out the headlines, hopefully a little bit less. He's going to add more goals to his game because that is a little bit, I won't say a concern, but especially if he wants to be seen as a top player, he probably needs to get more goals. He's got 7, which is a career high this year. 6 assists on top of that as well. Especially if he moves on to a bigger club. If we can get that up a little bit more, maybe a 10 and 10, a nice cheeky double, then hey, I'm taking it. I'm happy. It's impressive as well because I remember when Villa got relegated the first time. I want to say it was the 2015-16 season. He wasn't great. And he had his doubters. He was a slim kid. He could pretty much just dribble. He wore his socks really low. That's about it. He wasn't great. So he's had his time in the Championship now, and he's having his breakout season in the Premiership this year. I call it Premiership, wow. He's having a breakout season this year in the Premier League. And now we see the talent that is in front of us now. He's had to develop. He's still developing. And I think in time he can grow on to be an excellent player. Now, in terms of the start, bench, and releasing of these players, I'm going to start Grealish. Just because out of all these 3 players, I like his skill set the best. I like the way he dribbles. I like the way he can play make. And I think if it was in a better team with better players around him, that he would really show his class. And I think he can show that he's probably England's best number 10. I'm going to put Maddison on the bench because, as I said, he's always improving. I think Grealish is a better player than him because he could just do more, carry more. But Maddison is a nice piece to any team because of his ability with a dead ball at his feet. And it hurts me, but Ali, he's got to get released. He's got to go. And the maddest thing is he's probably the best player on this list, especially when all of these guys are on form. But the inconsistency just drives me too mad. I can be unbiased when I need to be. One of my favourite players, he has to be released. He's gone. But obviously, let me know what you think. Maybe I'm moving mad. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. And you have a nice day. And remember to wash your hands, please. There is still a virus going around.